Right, morning. Does this work?
Yeah.
Cool. You all got agendas yesterday, and the title of the talk was created without my knowledge, and it says something unbundling, disruption, innovation. There's a lot of buzzwords there. Last night I was invited to the kickoff dinner, and in a good French tradition, it was done over wine. And this is the title we came up with. Seriously. It's convincing dinosaurs to start dancing. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm sure your organizations are not dinosaurs. I'm sure that you have friends that work in a dinosaur organization. A bit about myself. I'm fortunate enough to have worked with a lot of companies around the world, and fortunate enough to have written a book that I totally encourage you to pick up and read. Besides being a really nice book, the British Library just said last week that is the management book of the year for entrepreneurship and innovation. It's called, thank you. Thank you so much. It's called The Corporate Startup, and it's our journey, the three co-authors on trying to change organizations, large legacy organizations. These are some of the companies I worked with, but my co-authors have also a vast experience in tackling this problem. Right, so have you seen this before? This is really interesting. The life expectancy of a company is dropping, while at the same time, the life expectancy of the human being is increasing. So that means two things. First thing, it means that a lot of people that might join a corporation today might be out of a job before they die. That's one. But also this is interesting because it shows that we are making a lot of progress and advancements in healthcare. We have a thing called health insurance that basically is able to put us in front of doctors and practitioners, and if we can get checkups. How many of you here have a health insurance? I guess everybody, right? Yeah? How much do you pay here? I live in Germany. How much do you pay here on average in France for your health insurance? Random. What would be 300 a month? 400 a month? More? Less? 200? Nobody knows? Okay. But you pay, right? You pay for that health insurance. I pay 370 a month. The net present value of my health insurance is negative. And I'm really happy about that. You know why I'm happy? Because it means I'm not going to doctors. It means that I'm contributing more to the system that I'm getting out. It's a bad investment, right? If you would be a financial advisor and say, this is a bad account, I should stop investing. But why do I keep continuing investing in my health insurance? Because what?
Because you don't know when something bad could happen to you. So it's like
yeah, exactly. I have an option, basically. I'm investing in having an option to go to doctors. I have an option to go skiing and not worry. I have an option to ride my bike and not worry, right? In the same way, innovation acts for your organization. It's a health insurance. You are going to invest in innovation. It's going to be non-profitable for most of the time. But you have an option, if something happens, to go and pick up that idea and continue nurturing it, continue investing further in it, and making it bigger. You need to understand this thing, actually. That survival is not mandatory. Right? It's optional. You can do it. If you choose to survive, you can do that. If you don't, you don't. It's not a problem. But the idea is that innovation acts like a health insurance for your organization. And this brings us back to a topic that I really want to talk about, is a metaphor I've created with some colleagues from San Francisco. And we say the following. We talk about grasshoppers and cash cows. Imagine you have a cow. It's a beautiful cow. It's a huge cow. It's beautiful, and it's been giving you and your family and your village milk for the past, 10 years or something like that. Right? And every morning, you take the cow to the lawn, and the cow is feeding on the nice grass, and you have a really beautiful lawn. It's probably close to the Alps, so you see the Alps in the back. And one day, as you are walking with your cow on the lawn, you see a grasshopper. And it's a tiny grasshopper, it's about this big. And it's eating away at one straw of grass. Only one straw. You You have the entire lawn. I guess you don't care, right? Let the little grasshopper be. It's just one straw of grass. The following morning, you come to your lawn, and there's 2 grasshoppers eating away at 2 straws of grass. Again, who cares, right? I have a cow. I'm getting milk. There's a huge lawn here. I'm not going to worry about the grasshopper. The following day after that is going to be 3 and 4 and 5 and 10 and 100. Up until a point where there's going to be no more lawn for your cow. I personally believe that the biggest threat for modern corporation is not from another corporation. It's from a startup. And this phenomenon is called unbundling. I'm going to give you some examples here. How many of you know this story? This is actually the best story of unbundling, right? Dollar Shave Club. For the people that don't know Dollar Shave Club, it originated in, I think, somewhere in California. And the idea is that they revolutionized the way we buy razors. So instead of going and buying the razor, you actually have a subscription to them starting at $1 per month, and they're going to deliver razors and men care products to your door. Right, nice, really interesting. The idea was that this was a grasshopper, and this was a grasshopper for this company, Proctor Gamble. In the middle, you see the entire product portfolio of Procter & Gamble. On the outside, is startup competitors. Here on the right, you see Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club was the grasshopper. Why? Because Gillette, Procter & Gamble product, Gillette, was owning 80% of the North American market when Dollar Shave Club launched. Nobody cared, right? Because it's a tiny grasshopper. And they choose to ignore it. They ignored Dollar Shave Club up until a point Dollar Shave Club was owning 35% of the market. Then this is not the end of the story. Dollar Shave Club was acquired by somebody for $1 billion. And this is not the end of the story. Do you know who acquired Dollar Shave Club? Unilever. And this is not the end of the story. The end of the story is the thing that Unilever was never in shaving products. They never had a product in their portfolio addressing shaving. And now all of a sudden, with a small investment of $1 billion, which for Unilever is a small investment, they own 35% of the North American market. I'm wondering, what are the conversations now in Procter & Gamble with respect to innovation? Should we invest? Yes. Should we care about the tiny grasshopper? Right? This was one grasshopper. Imagine all the other grasshoppers doing the same to the respective P&G product. And if you think this is just a solitary case in P&G, HSBC, Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. Can you see how many companies are competing just for one tiny service called payment? Just one, right? Is HSBC doing anything? I don't know. And this is not just HSBC, this is Wells Fargo in the US. So these were all European startups, by the way, all European startups competing against HSBC. And these are all American startups competing against Wells Fargo. Do you need to innovate? I guess not, right? Tiny grasshoppers, we have a cow. Cow is fine. It's been fine. This is Honeywell. It's another industry, right? Completely different than banking. It's not just banking that's under threat, right? This is Honeywell. I used to have on this presentation, I don't know why it's not here, the unbundling of other companies, of other industries. But basically it's happening in every industry. And if you guys don't believe that innovation is important, you're basically climate change denials. Climate change denials. You're going to have polar bears floating around the sand, and you'll be like, nope, global warming is not happening. Nope, we're good. Our cash cow is good. So welcome to this conference. Everybody gave you homework this morning. I'm going to give you homework. It's a free bullet point checklist. So first of all, enjoy the conference and have fun. It's the most important one. Second of all is talk with everyone. I think that more brains are better than one brain in general. And apply what you've learned. We're trying to give our talks in a way in which they're actionable. Something that you can actually apply tomorrow, or if you don't want to apply tomorrow, maybe Monday next week. It's a good way to start a week. Thank you very much. I'm going to give it now to Tore, and I have a talk later. Thank you.